This is on you. It's your fault for not yelling at me enough.
If you want me to be more strict on you,
say
I
no
need
more. Those guidelines.
Say no more. I'll stop being the respectful human being. I'll start being that strict. I'll start being strict on you.
I need that.
All right, done. It's time to record. You ready to record?
Let's do it.
All right.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello! It is June 1st, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there is always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we're talking about our reviews and recommendations of the week, cloning, egg-based feats, dino droppings, and so much more. But first, I'm your host, Harley B., and sitting next to me, on both sides, I got Timoteo, and I got Christoph.
Yo.
I'm just kidding. This is Timothy Lichty, and this is Christopher Thomas Ford, my besties for the resties.
Aw, stop.
I'm claiming them. It's too late.
Yay.
Besties for the resties. I like that. That was adorable. And definitely a Gen Z thing.
Yes,
absolutely.
I never would have thought to say anything like that. And that's not like fragile masculinity. I never would have thought to put those two together. That would not have
It's
clicked
my
in
last functioning brain cell, actually.
It's the last one. Just whatever pops out.
It's like on a hamster on a wheel. It's like just keep going, keep putting out ideas, words.
When does it sleep?
It doesn't. It does
just
not.
goes. It just goes.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, how are we doing, guys?
We're alive.
Yeah, we are.
I've had better weeks, but I'm all right.
I got my tires changed.
Nice.
Like an adult.
Hey, look at you.
Super safe.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
What does that mean?
Like what
Tires?
tires?
What type of tires did you get?
Yeah, I've given up trying to whatever's cheapest, bro.
Mine are like
I pretend. I'm like, yeah, which one has the better off-roading tread?
right.
Okay. And in the event of a snowstorm, how does this one handle on ice? And then eventually I just pick the cheapest one.
Yeah.
I did not pick the cheapest one. I picked the one that'll last the longest because I'm lazy.
No,
I would prefer not to change them very soon.
That makes sense.
So they're like Yokohamas or some of them.
Yamaha?
No.
Yokohama.
Yokohama?
They are.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Tells you how much I know.
So I didn't even know they existed till today, so it's very fine. You got a cool tattoo?
Yeah, I dig it.
I don't know if the camera can see it.
Guess what? I forgot to start recording.
I don't think you stopped recording.
No, I didn't.
On the camera, he means.
Oh, that's okay. So basically the story is Melissa, Chris's sister-in-law.
Yes.
Right.
Cool. She's so cool, dude. Oh
She's
my
the coolest,
God.
right?
Just the coolest. She's doing her little apprenticeship thing. So she's doing free tats.
Nice.
And so I got to pick from a flash, and I was looking at some of them. And my coworker at the library, her name is Allie. I'm going to tell her I mentioned this, and she's going to be so excited. She was, like, looking at them, and she saw this one, which is kind of shaped like a little pilot kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, my God, it reminds me of Amelia Earhart. And I just couldn't stop laughing because instantly my brain was like, she's dead. She's dead.
Because she's definitely dead.
It was just so funny to me. And so, yeah. So we got.
It looks great.
Yeah,
like
she
it.
did really good.
I like it. It looks really good. I've got mine on Monday. I'm going to go get another one.
Yeah.
On top of the one that I just got from Josh, I'm going to go get one from Melissa, too.
Yep.
And this is at the same shop, correct?
It
Two
is
different
at
shops.
the sister shop, the Iron Right in Georgetown.
Gotcha.
So
Same corporation.
the
Yes.
same company that we had talked about on our last pod,
Right.
Iron
With
Right
Josh.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
No, this one is Melissa at Iron Right Tattoos.
Nice.
South.
Go see her there.
Yeah, cool beans.
Super groovy. All right. First up on the pod today, we have our Wreck and Rev.
Yes.
Okay, Tim, you go first.
All right, so I just finished another book. I'm really behind, but I'm glad I finished it. It is a book by Pete Enns. He is a scholar, a PhD. He knows his shit.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, he wrote a book called How the Bible Actually Works. And it's very intriguing because he's not like super like, it's not political. It's not, whatever. He obviously has his own opinions, but he backs his stuff up. And he's trying to make a point on the video.
Showing the camera.
But yeah, it's a really, it's one of those books that's not too heavy. It's not like you have to be a college grad, like a PhD doctorate student to be able to.
You can understand the language.
Right, yeah. He explains everything really well. He kind of goes into details about the Bible, its history, how it started, and how it works. And basically, to summarize it, it's a wisdom book. And that's a good thing because that gives us freedom to operate around what we know. It's because even they, within the book, contradict each other. But it's not contradictions. It's just there's different wisdom nuggets for their own personal experiences. And so highly recommend it. It's a cheap, affordable book and it's very insightful and it's easy to understand. So
Nice.
Cool.
that's my thing.
Delicioso.
I'll just have you tell me about it later when we have more time.
Yeah, you got it.
I don't typically read too much. So,
I'm trying, man.
anytime I
can't
suggest
read.
a book, it's safe to assume that I have it on audiobook. All right. Well, my Rec and Rev for the week is actually this movie Uncharted. Came out a while ago with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Pretty good movie.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
I've heard he hates that.
Really?
I don't know.
That's
I've heard he
too
hates it.
damn bad.
I would hate it if I were him. But it's based on a video game that I actually really enjoyed. It's a Naughty Dog PlayStation exclusive. So
Yeah.
You probably may not have heard of it.
Shut
so.
up.
But it's based on that series of games, which had 4 different main series games, and then I think like 1 or 2 spin-offs. It was a really successful series about this guy named Nathan Drake who decides one day that he's going to be a explorer, archaeologist.
Indiana Jones.
More or less.
It's Tomb Raider.
Treasure hunter. It's
Well,
a
that's a good
male
one.
version of Tomb Raider, basically. Yeah. He's a treasure hunter. He's descended from Sir Francis Drake, who's an actual real-life pirate.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really cool story. This is like a prequel to the games, though. It shows you how he meets Sully and Chloe. Kind of shows you how he gets into the treasure hunting game. And it's a really cool story, I think. Like I said, starring Tom Holland, so great acting as well.
Yeah.
It's
Delicious.
fun. It's fun.
It was
It's
fun.
one of the well-done video game movies because there's a lot of them out
Yeah.
there that are not.
Sonic.
Hey,
Well,
no,
no, I
Sonic
love
was
Sonic.
really good.
Yeah.
Sonic
no,
was a really good
no,
one.
the movie that you should be attacking, which I'm really disappointed because that's my favorite game series, is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
That movie sucked.
that movie was awful.
I didn't
Yeah,
even know there's a
but-
movie. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
And it has Michael Fassbender. He's like he's like a stellar actor, but it was just horribly written.
Horribly written, horribly executed, horribly shot.
Yeah,
the whole movie
It
was
was
awful.
just bad.
But Uncharted is not like that.
No, it's
a
pretty good.
fun little romp
Yeah.
into the treasure hunting
It's not
world.
a game changer, but it's
No.
a good film.
It
It's
was a
fun.
good film.
You'll be
Game
entertained.
changer.
It's something you can watch
Oh, you like
for
that?
like a red box or something, but I wouldn't like go pay $50 for it.
Right,
for
right,
a
right.
Blu-ray version or anything.
Yeah.
People still do Redbox?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. I forget people have like DVD players still. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
What do you got, Harley?
A phone streaming service.
No, I meant what's your
Oh,
Rec and Rev?
anyway. I was like, what do you mean, Tim? I got a phone. Okay, anyways, so mine is obvious. The most obvious thing, probably the best thing to happen out of last week. Harry Styles, Harry's house.
I'm surprised you and Jess haven't had like a party over here.
listening
So-
party.
Oh,
Right.
no, we've been sending each other TikToks specifically about the song Matilda. It has broken me. It has built me up to tear me down. And yeah, such a good album.
I've heard good things about the album. I've heard it was really well produced. Like the music, blending, all of that stuff is great. It sounds nice. It's a well-written album.
It's got variety.
It's got really good lyrics. It's variable.
Yes.
I've heard good
Yeah.
things about
I
it.
do need to
I
listen
have
to
not
it.
listened to a single song from it, and I probably will once we leave today.
I would
But-
say Matilda, but it might be really bad for your mental health. So like,
Avoid that one.
All right, so
Yeah.
avoid Matilda.
Yeah.
Then. Got it.
but it's like the way
Heard.
the way he set it up on the album. It's that song Matilda, and then it's Cinema, which is super upbeat and like happy-go-lucky and a cute little, I guess, love song ?
Yeah.
Is that like
and-
the Benny Benassi cinema? You are a cinema, a Hollywood treasure. No.
No.
Okay.
No
moving
idea
on.
what you're
I
talking
mean,
about.
it's got a low vibe, but it just was like
Action.
high and low instantly. My brain could not handle it. But
The roller coaster is just. I
literally.
was not prepared.
But if you like the song as it was, you
yeah.
will like the whole album. It's just delicious, and I'm
As
so
it
happy,
was.
so
I'm gonna search it
proud
right
of
now.
him, Harry Styles,
Cool.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, Jessica tried the other night to get early access to
That's cute.
Love on Tour.
Yeah, which is in Houston, I believe, and she was like literally on the second that it went up, and she tried, and it was too late.
No,
There
people.
was like 2,000 people in the queue.
There were
Yeah.
not actually 2,000 people. There were a bunch of bots,
Right,
Because
right.
that's how it's been set up recently, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know how
same
that's
thing
legal.
happened to me
Right.
with the PS5. Like
Right.
I had it in my cart, and I couldn't buy it because a guy with like 1,000 bots bought all of them and then sold them for like $1,000 a piece, even though he
Right.
bought them for like 500.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing with
sucks.
tickets to shows and new technology and all that stuff.
Yep.
Did you hear my jaw pop? I'm
I
so
did.
sorry.
No.
That was great.
Yikes.
So,
It was purely accidental. But yes, Harry's house.
Harry's house.
Listen
And if
to
you
it.
have tickets to that because of a bot, I hope you stub your toe.
That's a good one.
I kind of respect you,
Oh,
but like I'm
I
kind
hope
of
you
mad
can't
about
sell them. I hope you can't sell them.
I hope you have the day you
Yeah.
deserve.
it. Oh,
Have the day
yeah.
you deserve.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, next up we have
Shower thoughts with Chris.
nice.
So before I get to my shower thought, I want to say that I knew I had shower thoughts with Chris, and I've got it prepared. But I guess I read the notes out of order, and I was not prepared to do it right now. But here we go. Why is it specifically called a living room? Because, I mean, we live in all of our rooms. And at most, it's a gathering room for everybody. Because I live in my bedroom more than I do in my living room. And what the hell is a foyer? Does anybody actually know?
Isn't that just the room that, like, the big
I think it
entrance
means,
room
like,
into a house?
entryway.
Yeah.
But isn't it, like, if you have a hallway there, is that still a foyer? Do you need a room? Like, my front door goes right into my living room.
An
Is that
entrance
still
hall.
a foyer? Foyer?
I think it's called a foyer. Oh.
I'm not French, so I don't know.
I've heard both pronunciations.
Well,
I
like,
mean,
if, you,
heard of both
like, if you're
ways.
rich, like, a foyer could be, like, this huge, essentially a living room in the front.
When
yeah,
you
it's like
say-
2 living rooms.
But, like, when you say foyer, I imagine, like, the butler opening the grand doors and it goes to a giant staircase and one goes to
Right.
the east wing and the other goes to the west wing and the kitchen is off to the side and you've got the servant quarters
Yeah.
under and behind the stairs. Like,
you
that's
just have
a foyer.
You just have the
But
Texas
my
version.
little 3-bedroom rental house, does that have a foyer? Like,
Okay, so catch this. I did a little. This is just the first Google thing, so don't take me for it.
don't
But
at him.
right in the early 1900s, the large room at the front of the home was referred to as the death room, where the bodies of the deceased were kept for mourning.
Oh yeah.
As the spread of the fatal influenza decreased, the Ladies' Home Journal proposed that this room become known as the living room instead.
Huh.
Well,
So, because that's
So
where
were
my
they-
body is expected to be when I die, it was called the death room. But then because that's unpleasant,
Oh, it's-
they changed it to living room.
yes.
okay, but also like houses were designed with the death room in mind back then, right?
I guess so.
That's
I don't like that.
that's haunting.
It's like a big room,
It's
so
like,
that way
look-
you can come in to mourn.
Look, sir,
Yeah.
I
so
understand.
you don't have to enter the rest of the home.
I understand
Right.
you're buying this house right now, and you guys are looking forward to your future. But one day you will die. Don't you want to have enough room for all your neighbors and relatives?
I bet you that's exactly how they did it
That's
though.
probably the pitch.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
what? Sold. I'll take it.
He's like, it's got enough space for all my 3,000 uncles and cousins.
I don't know.
It's perfect.
Is this death room too bright? I feel like it needs to be darker.
We're going to Uncle Barney's
Dark
house.
green.
He's got a bigger death room. That's where we're going to hold the wake.
Oh
That
man.
is so dark. I don't
But
like that at all.
in Texas, a foyer is what you have. Like that's what we have. But a foyer is the big fancy
The
one.
grand one.
Yeah.
So changing the pronunciation of French makes it fancy.
That
That's
makes
what I'm
sense.
gonna say.
That makes sense.
I'm
Okay.
sticking to
The
it.
darn French people.
Fair enough.
Oui, oui, baguette.
Why are the French the only race it's okay to be racist against with like no repercussions?
They're not a
They're
race.
snobby.
They're just white people
They asked for it. Here you go. That's a good point.
White people with
They're colonizers
with
too.
an accent.
with an accent.
They're all colonizers.
All white people have accents. All people have accents. Like, what do you want?
Right.
They just got a certain twang, you know.
Even
what I
my accent is called a non-regional accent.
mean? You sound like you're from the South.
Yeah.
To you, you've been in the South your whole life. To other people, they're like, I can't tell.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I think we should move on from
All
this.
right.
My
Anyways,
shower thought. Why is it called
I
the
want
living room?
I want Chris to do this one.
Now I think it's time for What Did I Miss?
Nice.
Yes.
This is the part of the show where we like to present to you some news that you probably didn't hear about.
Hey.
So I'm going to start, and it's from an Instagram account, question mark. I almost said channel, but I was like, that's not what's on.
That's TikTok.
Yeah, I was like, that's not what's on.
Or YouTube.
That's YouTube. Yeah, better. Anyways,
Does TikTok have channels?
they have accounts.
It's all the same.
My
to me.
TikTok account.
They had the Instagram TV thing for a while.
Look, all you internets and your websites and your HTMLs, all that, it's all the same to me.
You know, that's valid. All right. Anyways, from Tank's Good News on Instagram, there was a post that he made, and it was basically like a couple screenshots of this like phone conversation between these two people, and it was an individual trying to buy a car, and they were like, hey, like, is it possible you could hold the car? Like, I don't get my tax return until next week, kind of thing. And the other person replied, and they were like, no, sorry, like, I can't really hold the car. I told another guy that I wouldn't hold it, you know, kind of thing. And the other person was like, oh, no, that's okay. Like, I just have one car right now, so I was just kind of, you know, hoping that maybe I could get this other one. But, like, all is well. Like, no worries.
Yeah.
I'll find another one. And then the person was like, oh, I just wanted to hold it for somebody who actually deserved it. So, yeah, like, it's yours.
Wow.
And yeah. And so the person was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so you can wait until next week for me to get the money. And the person selling it was like, no, like, it's yours. Like, I don't want any money for it. And the person was like, no, like, I get paid
That's
next
awesome.
week.
Yeah.
Like he was confused.
Yeah. He was like, wait, I can give you the money then. And he was like, I don't want your money. Like, the car is yours. When can you come pick it up in like the next 2 days? And the person was like, I'm crying. And it was
awesome.
just so sweet. Like, there's some goodness. But yeah,
That
it's a
is
really good
good.
account, by the way, if you ever want.
Tank's Good News.
Tank's Good News.
Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. We need some positivity in our lives.
I've been on Instagram like twice as much lately, and that still means like once every 4 or 5 days.
Right.
But you know, still,
Highly
I'll follow
recommend.
some positive
Yeah.
sites.
It's so good. I've been
I'll check it
following
out.
it for a couple years now. So,
I love
12
it.
out of 10.
All right.
All right, guys. I got a quick twofer for you guys today.
Dover.
I got 2 of them. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been a trend over the last few months of my stories that I've been presenting, and that is trucks spilling goods.
I've noticed that.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that or like, I think things are being taken.
Right. So on top of companies using inflation as an excuse to increase prices, we also have to look out for trucks losing their goods. Like, this is just a common thing that we got. So I found 2 more articles about things being dropped.
I swear to God, Tim, if this has anything to do with those eels, I'm done.
No. Okay, so here we go. This is my first one. A beet was dropped as hundreds of beets were spilled on I-29 in North Dakota.
Ooh.
All right, so traffic was backed up on I-29 near Thompson for more than half an hour on Sunday after beets spilled across the northbound lanes of the interstate. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says a beet truck was traveling on the interstate when a tire blew, causing it to run off the road and into the median. And authorities say the driver was not hurt and that the beets have since been cleaned up, but a beet was dropped.
Boo.
That's so funny. Like, can you imagine driving and you're like, oh, there's beets in the road. Get out the way.
My boss said if I'm late one more time, I'm fired. He is never going to believe me. He is never going
This
to
is like
believe
genuinely
this.
like what in the cloudy with a chance of meatballs. You know what I mean?
And beets are hard too, so if you try to drive through there,
Aren't they like bright red too?
yeah.
There's just splatters of beets all over the road.
The streets are red with beets. All right.
So
and then
good.
next up, morning traffic scrambled.
I swear to
as-
God, Tim, if this is eggs,
As Texas truck crash spills 35,000 pounds of eggs.
God. You know what? I saw it coming.
It's
And
still
I hate
funny
you
though.
for it.
No, it's funny. The driver of an 18-wheeler struck a bridge in Dallas and crashed before dawn Monday morning, spilling roughly 35,000 pounds of eggs. That's a lot of eggs onto the Interstate 30 and keeping the westbound lanes closed for hours.
Oh my God.
The crash took place along I-30 near the Interstate 45 US 75 split at about 3:50 a.m. The driver of the truck was not injured in the crash. Westbound I-30 was shut down so the eggs and fuel could be cleaned up. The roadway was closed until the afternoon before being reopened to traffic sometime before rush hour began. Can you imagine the smell of 35,000 pounds worth of eggs
in
on
Texas,
Texas roads?
Oh,
Texas,
they
it's
cooked.
hot enough to cook them, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like,
Not all of them are
I
on the
wonder
road,
how
though.
slippery that was. You know what I mean? Like, was it like the banana thing, but with cars? You know what I mean?
I would imagine so.
Some of it
Like,
had
can you
to be,
imagine
yeah.
driving? It's like, oh no.
Look, it's 35,000 pounds.
I think
You
it
had a
depends.
myriad of like different effects
I
happening
think
in
it
this.
depends on the type of eggs, because you can go to like Walmart or HB and just get like the basic white eggs, and they're
Right.
fine. Or you can get the ones with like the omega-3 fatty acids where the yolk is like almost orange.
The Americanized eggs, yeah.
Those are the ones I like the pasteurized, no soy, free range eggs.
Right.
Those are the eggs I like.
I like brown eggs. They're pretty.
You can get them in brown or white, like people.
Wow.
So, anyways, yeah, we got problems with our roads. Everybody, we need to look out for our fellow truckers and
Make sure that if they spill something, you've got a plate.
yes,
Yeah.
don't want to waste anything.
Don't waste anything.
Can you imagine? There's like a person standing by like
Just,
the
like,
interstate
scooping
now,
up
and they're
eggs.
like, "I'm ready."
Scooping up into a bowl.
It's like, what's the next one? Broccoli.
I'm saying, man.
It's like weather storm watchers, but you
Truck watchers. We got a truck
like,
down on I-35.
I'm on it.
God, I hope it's a waffle truck.
It really is like a cloud chance of or what is it?
Cloudy with a chance
Yeah,
of
it
meatballs.
really is like that.
Like the scene where there's like, "There's a leak in the boat."
That was by far my favorite scene in either of those movies. One or two.
My other part is where the cop is like, "That's enough to make a grown man cry, but not
back in
this
there,
grown
too."
man. Get it?"
All right, that's all I got.
Good. Oh,
All right, cool.
Sunny side up eggs. Perfect. That's what I thought of immediately.
With a side of beets.
With a side of beet. Oh, that sounds
I
horrible.
don't like beets. Yeah, I'm not a beet guy. Anyway, so I don't know if you've noticed a trend in mine, but a lot of them are about people getting sued
Yes.
for ridiculous things.
It really does make me think about our algorithms on the.
Yeah, our search algorithms. I just love watching people lose, like watching rich people lose a bunch of money, especially if it's the government.
Yes.
But mine is Kentucky employer. Did I write that wrong? Yeah.
No.
Kentucky employer owes employee $450,000 due to a birthday party.
Whoa.
So,
Oh,
Kenton
okay.
County Circuit Court in Northern Kentucky heard the case, and a verdict was given last week where court documents said that the employee had notified the office manager to make them aware that he has an anxiety disorder, debilitating anxiety disorder.
Okay.
He suffers from panic attacks. And being the center of attention
Oh,
causes him
no.
to have panic
Oh,
attacks.
No.
Yeah. So here's the story. The employee reached out to the office manager days ahead of time of his August birthday and asked not to arrange a party to celebrate him, which they do for all the other employees. He specifically requested that they not do this. And it is documented that he has this anxiety disorder.
right.
On August 7th, which was his birthday, his lunchtime rolled around and they had a surprise birthday party for him arranged at the office.
Oh, no.
He was headed on his lunch break when he found out about the party, had a panic attack. The employee then rushed to leave the office, went to his car to spend the rest of his lunch break in the car. He then sent a text to his manager asking why she failed to accommodate his requests and not throw him a party. The next day, he was called into a meeting in which he was confronted and criticized by the manager regarding his reaction to the party. He had another panic attack because of this meeting, which,
Oh, my God.
as somebody with mental disorders, like, I understand this. Like, anything can trigger a panic attack, and if you know what your triggers are and you warn somebody, it's malicious of them to do it anyway.
Absolutely.
And even if it wasn't that, guys, this is the 21st century. If you don't want something and you have it documented, don't do it.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
It's
so
not
like,
complicated.
it's so much easier to not do things
And
than
it's
it
just
is
the-
to do things.
It's the fact that she like gaslit him and was like, "Well, we
Yeah.
threw you this fantastic party and you're not going to appreciate it," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, yeah." That's so bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the worst.
Oh
So-
my God.
After this panic attack at the meeting, he was sent home for the next 2 days, and that weekend he was notified that he was being fired because of the events of the previous week, quote unquote. So the company, Gravity Diagnostics, was then sued by the previous employee on grounds of disability discrimination and retaliation, which I completely agree
Hell
with.
yeah.
Lawsuit said that they did not accommodate his anxiety disorder and the birthday party. And that the birthday party and the events afterwards caused him to suffer from a loss of income and benefits and emotional distress and mental anxiety, which they fired him. So, yeah, absolutely.
Which is
Because
bizarre
of a
to me.
documented anxiety disorder. The jurors obviously sided with the employee, and they were like, yeah, no, absolutely. They violated Kentucky law that protects workers who have a disability from adverse employment actions. So the total sum that they have to pay him, $450,000, is broken up. $300,000 for the emotional distress, and an additional $150,000 for lost wages after they fired him.
Congratulations.
That's so
awesome.
delicious.
Yes.
Yeah. Now,
Like,
I
wow.
imagine, like, at court, he was probably having extra panic attacks, too, so that's probably not a good thing. But $450K for...
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's probably more than he makes in a year. I don't know what he does, but it's probably more than he makes in a year, so...
Yeah. Good
on
for
you.
him.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
Man. Congrats. Moving on.
Should we?
We
I
shall.
think we'll go ahead and move on from here.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move into a little breaky break because I need a snack. My tummy's got the rumblies that only
Same.
hands can satisfy. Do you know what that's from?
Llamas with hats.
Yeah.
My stomach was making rumblies that only hands can satisfy.
Yeah. We shall be back. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, yo.
Hey.
Welcome back. This just makes me want to move like this the whole time. Anyways, now we will be moving into our main segment today, which is about dinos.
I love dinosaurs.
Bro, your kids are napping.
Oh.
I love dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, roar, dinosaur, roar. Oh, I love dinosaurs.
Did you just make that up?
No, it's from Blippi.
Oh, I don't remember that. My kids watch it.
It's
Aria
the
watches
dinosaur song from Blippi. I watched
Oh,
that
Blippi.
at least twice a day.
Dang.
Ellie loves dinosaurs, and she loves Blippi.
I love it.
So when I showed her the dinosaur Blippi episode, that's literally all we watched for a week straight. It's an hour long, and that is it.
I love her.
She's so cute. I want to be Ellie when I grow up. Okay, so this episode is in honor of Ellie and all the other kids around the globe who like dinos.
Yes.
Or adults. Not just kids, not just limited to children.
For everyone.
For everyone. For all the people.
For all.
For all.
So first, we're going to start with some fun facts about dinosaurs.
Hey.
So the word dinosaur was coined by British paleontologist Richard Owen in 1842. It's Greek, meaning terrible lizard. Rather than implying that dinosaurs were fearsome, Owen used the term to refer to their majesty and their size.
Yeah, because terrible did not always mean awful. It just used to mean big. Fun fact.
That's true.
Even more fun facts.
Yeah. All right, got next one for you. The heaviest dinosaur was the Argentinosaurus at 77 tons. It was equivalent to 17 African elephants. It is a double award winner, also being the longest dinosaur. Excuse me. It is also the largest land animal to have ever lived.
Wow.
How cute. I mean, how... that's not cute. How
Cute?
massive...
It can still be
It
cute.
can be cute.
but I don't know what it looks like.
It's
It's a big dinosaur.
yeah, it's a big one. It's a
It looks like
It's a thickums.
Yeah. It's a thick boy.
That's a thick boy.
Thick. All right. I'm going to do the next two because this one's real short. Most dinosaurs were vegetarians.
Love that for them.
I mean, aren't most animals in general?
I would think so.
Except
Or-
for us.
Vegetarians and omnivores, like
Right.
most animals eat vegetables and vegetation of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make sense though? Because predators, they need a certain amount of nutrients, and you have to have
Yeah.
Like
there
a
can't
large
be more
amount.
predators
Right.
than there are prey because then the predators would die off too.
right.
It's good for your heart. I found out today.
Being a
Vegetable.
vegetarian.
Yeah, vegetables in general.
That makes sense.
Vegetables in general, yeah. I couldn't see being a
Yeah.
vegetarian.
Don't they
the
tell
rest
you
of
to
my
stop
life.
eating like red meat for your heart cardio issues? To, like
Yes.
stop eating red meat.
I don't know.
You
All
can-
I know is red wine is good for your heart. That's all I need to know.
Yes, that's why Jesus did what he did.
He knew what he was talking about.
He was going to heal him one way or another. A dinosaur called the Pegomastix
Nice.
is one of the weirdest dinosaurs known.
Me too,
It's a fun
bestie.
name.
It's described as a cross between a parrot and a porcupine.
You're lying.
It had a beak with teeth that sharpen themselves against each other. How does that even work?
What do you do with that information?
Well, have you there's a picture I saw the other day where it was like showing the skeleton, or like it had like an X-ray of a beaver, and it showed its tail, how like its bones are super small, but like the padding for its tail, it's huge. It's like, this is what it looks like, just the bones. We are not like creative enough when it comes to dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're probably very wonky and weird looking
Yeah.
and stuff.
I feel like a lot of paleontologists out there are just like, hey, you guys want to mess with some people today? Let's make this thing and call it a dinosaur. What are they going to do? Double check us? We're the scientists.
I can't ask for the Carfax on this one.
There are no Carfax. We made the Carfax.
Fun
All
stuff.
right.
Next up, the Stegosaurus had a brain. Sorry, I read too fast. Had a brain the size of a walnut.
Same.
Only 3 centimeters long and weighing 75 grams. However, comparing brain size to body size, who?
Sauropodomus sauropodomorph. Nope, you say it, Chris. I can't say words.
Sauropodomorphs.
Thank you. Like Plateosaurus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're probably one of the dumbest dinosaurs.
Yeah. They're
Which
big.
is so interesting because when it says Plateo, I think of like Plato, who's like a whole philosopher. And the fact that they named it that and he's one of the dumbest dinosaurs is kind of really,
That's funny.
really ironic.
Uh,
Tragic.
All right, so I'll give you 2 facts. I forgot to write this down, but I know this. There was a dinosaur called Critonosaurus, something like that. It was actually named after the author of the book Jurassic Park. Yeah, fun fact. But anyways, in the 1993 movie Jurassic Park, there's only 15 minutes of dinosaur footage, 6 minutes of CGI, and 9 minutes of animatronics. Isn't that wild?
So then what's...
Like, you think about it, you're like
You're right.
a lot of it's just human drama and dialogue or running away or whatever, but like actual on-screen time, only 15 minutes of actual dinosaurs.
Huh.
How boring.
No, it's a fantastic... Have you watched Jurassic Park?
No.
I want to know how much time was devoted
But I'm
to
just-
dino poop.
That's true.
Because there was that one scene
Yeah,
where like
the
that's all they
Triceratops.
talked about was
Yeah.
the Triceratops poop, and she was like digging in there.
Yeah.
Like,
At least a quarter of the time was just dino poop.
yeah. Is that included in the 15 minutes, or is that in addition to
Oh.
the 15 minutes?
Good question.
What a movie. I've never watched it. I'm slacking on my cult classics, but
Well, if you'd like, me and Chris can take these next facts about Jurassic Park.
absolutely. Go for it.
Okay.
Also, you need to watch this movie.
Yes, you really do. At least the first one.
Tim has all of them.
I do.
Okay.
All right.
If you insist.
Michael Crichton intended John Hammond to be a dark Walt Disney.
I think
Mission
that was
accomplished.
A pretty good job.
Yeah.
No comments from the gallery.
The Mr. DNA cartoon was Steven Spielberg's way of condensing much of the novel's exposition into just a few minutes.
Brilliant.
He did a good job on that one, too.
Yeah.
This movie is just like a
It's
masterpiece.
It really is. Steven Spielberg, it's so good. When Michael Crichton was asked why the novel was Jurassic in the title and has dinosaurs from the Cretaceous period on the cover, he replied that it had never occurred to him, and admitted that was just the best looking design.
That's so funny.
I mean, it makes
when,
sense.
I like when authors do that.
Yeah.
Like authors and directors, they're like, it just looked cool.
He's like, dude, I'm an author. I'm not a scientist.
Rather than being like, well, I thought if we did this, this, and this would be the reason. No, just
look cool.
I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
They look pretty groovy.
It's like, remember like all the nerds like, well, actually the T-Rexes are from the Cretaceous period and the late Cretaceous period and whatever.
I bet you were one of those guys.
In 2005, paleontologist Dr. Mary's... Is it even my turn? I'm doing
No.
it. Dr. Mary Schweitzer discovered red blood cells and soft tissue in the fossilized bones of a T-Rex, meaning dinosaur cloning may someday become a reality.
I hate that.
Well,
So I
I'm
guess
on
the
it.
real question boils down to, should we do that? Like, is a theme
We have
park...
movies. We have
That's
the
what I'm
movies.
saying. Like, is a theme park a good idea? Because the movies, like... Right now, we have 5 different movies and another one
They
coming
all
out.
turn out bad.
All say
They
no.
all go bad.
Every one of them.
I mean, this is a good conversation about cloning, I think we can get into. Because, this is what it all revolves around, is genetic engineering.
Right.
Where do we stop being saviors and start trying to be God?
Well, like right. Well, that's one of the things from like who says
like
that
World War II.
No, well, it's true, but it's one of the things they say in the movie. It's like they keep saying that John Hammond was just playing God, but like there's good things behind genetic engineering. Like for example, you can eliminate some diseases or eliminate like what is it? Is it Huntington's? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
It's like this. It's this. I can't remember exactly what it is or even what it's called, but it's genetic, and it affects. Basically, you can just die at some random time in your life, and there's no way to prevent it.
Wow.
So genetic engineering could solve that. Is what I'm saying.
That's kind of how life works in general. Like
I know that, but it's a certain disease that there's no cure to.
Got you.
And
Okay.
it's genetic.
So imagine being like 26-year-old. Wow, English. 26 years old, and your brain is.
Right. It's not like I don't think it's
keel
like
over.
super sudden, but it can happen at any point in your
It
life.
happens though. That's what I'm saying. Like it just
Yeah,
happens.
but I mean, this is more like, oh, you know that it could happen.
Well, like once you find out that you have
But
it,
you do know that it could happen.
I mean,
but it's a guarantee that it's going to happen. It could happen in the next 10 minutes of your life. It could happen in the next 20 years of your life.
Yeah.
That's the danger in it.
Yeah.
And
But, like,
also,
regular death
if
is
you
just
find out that you have it and you have kids, there's like a very high percentage that they will have it too.
That would be the scary thing.
That exactly. And so if we can figure out how to eliminate that genetically, then people can still have kids and not have to worry about that.
Yeah. So, is there a difference between genetic engineering and cloning that, like, morality-wise?
Okay, well, we should differentiate between animals and humans because with animals, I don't view it as negatively as I do with humans, just because I think about like bringing back extinct animals that we caused to extinct,
right? Yeah.
like the Tasmanian tiger or what's another one? The
dodo bird.
Right? Yeah, like there's these animals that we caused to become extinct.
I don't think we caused the dodo bird. I think the dodo bird was just so dumb that it went
You be
extinct.
nice to the dodo.
That's
But-
bird.
why-
but it
that's
wasn't until
why
our
it's
interference.
That's
Be nice
why
to your
dodo is an insult.
Hey,
I'm not saying anything that's not true.
whoa.
But even still, pandas are dumb. But we are a part
sloths, they grab their own arms.
of the, right.
sometimes,
We are
buddy.
a part of the problem as to why they're endangered.
Yeah.
We're also the only ones keeping them alive at this point.
Well, true, but that's my point. Like, we can have a responsibility to go, if we can find some DNA from the dodo bird or the Tasmanian tiger or whatever it is, we can bring it back and hopefully reintroduce it back into an environment.
Yeah.
I'm good with cloning animals.
With
I think.
animals, it's groovy.
I think it's fine with animals.
Depending on the animal.
With people, it is a little weird because, you know, there's a whole soul debate versus, like, what's going on there. And
Yeah.
It's also
nature
just like
versus
you can make
nurture.
more of one race, which was a big problem in history.
Oh, yeah.
So we should not do that.
And, like, are they, like, full people? Are they going to be considered less than? They're going to be considered less than. You can't stop that.
What
That's
is that
going to happen.
Arnold Schwarzenegger film? Was it Total Recall?
Total Recall.
The one with the clones and basically, like, which one is his true self? It's, like, all about cloning and, like, which one is his true self? Because they still have the memories, but they haven't actually lived the experience. And
There was one with Paul Rudd recently
oh, yeah.
that I don't remember the name of, but it was like on Netflix. But basically, like, you go to a spa or something and they clone you with a better version of yourself. Like, they fix your problems and then they kill you, but your clone has all your memories, so he thinks it's you. Just like, oh, that was a great spa. Like, I had a great time, and now everything's better. And the guy Paul Rudd walks through the thing, and they're showing him the tour of how everything's going on. And Tom Brady walks by. He's like, isn't that Tom Brady? It's like, yeah, he's been here like 6 times. And at the time, Tom Brady had 6 rings from the NFL. Like,
Yes.
oh. And then you find out what they're doing. You're like, oh. They killed Tom Brady.
There is a film, and I'm trying to find it. It had, I think it was Ewan McGregor or is it Ewan McGregor? I always,
It's Ewan.
he's Scottish. I always forget.
The Island.
Yes, that's it.
I know exactly which where they clone the people and they use them for like transplants and body parts. and
Basically, just for organ transplants. That's all it is. So if you're
to
super
keep
rich,
the original alive.
yeah,
So the original people are living to be like 400 or 500 years old because they're just transplanting all their organs from clones of themselves.
Whoa.
yeah, super dark.
You got to have a big enough island.
It was pretty big.
It was large.
It was a big island.
And really, you don't need that much space because you're just literally growing these clones to take their body parts. It's not like you need them.
Yeah, but is this for like
they're
everyone?
not like free range clones. They're just there.
What if I want a free range clone?
Well,
I don't want mine artificially messed with.
Well, like they tell them there's like this big apocalypse thing, and they're keeping them safe, and and they have like this lottery, so to speak, that they get to be released, and really all it is just
you win the lottery, you're being harvested.
Yeah, you're being harvested. So yeah. Here's a question: cloning your pets?
No.
Wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it?
I love my dog to death, but she is so dumb. I would not go through that again. I would not go through that again.
But theoretically, if you had like a perfect pet and like it was just smart, intelligent, did all the right things, protected your family.
Again, no. I feel like I would wake up in the middle of the night and it would just be staring at me.
Actually, I know what you've done. Yeah, I just can't fathom that because like you lose the pet one time and then you get it again and you lose it again down the road. Like,
yeah,
it's just too much emotional turmoil.
But I mean, if you keep cloning it,
yeah, but then that's not even the same pet anymore.
What if you clone it? But like let's say I get Ellie a pet, and then I clone that pet, and she never knows that.
Well, she might
pet
never
died.
know. So you're talking like goldfish.
Goldfish,
it's like going to the store.
Cats, dogs, whatever.
That's what you've been doing all these years. You just go to the store and you get a clone goldfish.
I mean, all goldfish are clones, basically.
I mean,
as far as they know.
Oh my gosh. All right, I think that's enough about cloning.
Fair enough.
Anyways, feel free to partake any of your thoughts on that topic. There's a whole... but that's like Star Wars with the clones.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
Well, and that's what I loved about the show. Right. That's what I loved about the show is because they showed the humanity and like the differences between each of the clones. They had their own personalities. They had their own quirks and their own styles, and they
likes and dislikes.
They chose their own like nickname, so to speak, that they would go by: Rex, Delta,
Fives.
Yeah, all these different guys. Yeah, it's definitely that's why I liked about Dave Filoni's Clone Wars. Just it really dove into the things that you don't think about, like in these kind of shows.
It's just a whole thing.
So what you're saying is that dinosaurs had different personalities.
Absolutely.
Even though they were clones.
I mean, all animals do.
Well, I guess, okay, so the end-all, be-all question, should we clone dinosaurs?
Absolutely not.
Clone what?
Dinosaurs.
Nope. Absolutely not.
I say no.
I think the principle, because look, this is the principle behind it. Just going by principle, I would say no. However, if we theoretically could absolutely make sure there are no carnivores ever bred, then maybe like herbivores, that'd be kind of fun. I don't know.
Potentially. I mean, we have our own dinosaurs. Just look at like hippopotamuses and all that stuff.
I mean, alligators. I mean, they literally
terrible lizards.
Yeah.
Terrible lizards. Gross. All right. So, what is everyone's favorite dinosaur movies, shows, or games?
Yes.
I don't have any. I'm not.
Seriously, nothing?
Nope. I was going to say, like, Land Before Time, but even then, like, that was so early on in my life that I barely remember
well,
it.
That's your only one, then.
I get Land Before Time.
Fair enough.
For me, I got a few. Right now, there's a new show on Apple TV.
Prehistoric Planet.
Yes.
Bro, I just started that.
It's interesting. It's not, I don't think it's the most action-filled one, but it's definitely the most beautiful and most scientifically accurate.
It's like
one
watching one of those, like, Life.
Right.
The documentaries, like an actual legitimate nature documentary.
Right. Yeah.
About dinosaurs. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to see them take some liberties, but also just some, like, accuracies. Like, for example, I burst Chris's bubble earlier by telling him that velociraptors are not what we see in the Jurassic Park films.
Still mad about it.
So, in case you didn't know this, everyone, velociraptors were not like 7 feet tall in what we saw in Jurassic Park. They were, what was the actual height?
Deinonychus. Those were like a foot and a half.
Yeah.
Like 1.6 feet.
That was their actual height.
Wait, how tall?
1.6 feet. Velociraptors are like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 18.
That's so cute.
They weighed like 30 pounds. They weighed as much as my kid.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they were still ferocious and dangerous, but it wasn't like this super predator that was super intelligent and could like, I mean, they were still smart.
They're like chickens.
Yeah.
They're the chickens.
I mean, more
of the
vicious
dinosaur.
chickens, but yeah.
Definitely bigger than chickens. More turkeys.
Well, they had like they had a 6 foot span from head to tail.
Oh. So they were still long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, but
Crazy
they were just
long. They just weren't super tall.
Well, and that was the thing. It was like even in this show, Prehistoric Planet, they showed velociraptors, and they still had some feathers on them, which they've actually discovered. Like a lot of these dinosaurs still had some remnants of feathers because that's kind of where they came from.
They were the chickies of the dinosaur world.
Yeah,
We're the chickies.
but they still showed them as like ferocious, but they had smaller prey, and they had
yeah. I assume you still had to be ferocious back then. It was-
survival.
You don't
Yeah.
have a chance, yeah.
So yeah, Prehistoric Planet. I recommend that. In fact, the last episode I think just released today. Jurassic Park, the original, it's OG. It's beautiful. It's
Always great.
Yeah.
Always great.
And a game, Jurassic World Evolution 2. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's Jurassic Park themed build it game. It's like your own Sims build it game.
Kind of like Sims, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Build your zoo, but it's dinos.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Super fun. You get like 70 plus dinosaurs to choose from.
88.
Is that what it is now?
I only know because Ellie watches that video every day on YouTube. All the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
88.
And with the second game, you get to choose like the pterodactyls and these other flying dinosaurs, but you also got like the oceanic ones, like the Mosasaurus and the
Leoplerodon.
Yeah.
I know exactly which dinosaurs you're
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. As a person who loves just building things, that game is super,
It's a
super fun.
Leoplerodon, Charlie. A magical Leoplerodon. It has told us the way. Anyway,
What you got, Chris?
so my favorites, obviously Jurassic Park, but I like 3.
That's your favorite one?
No, the first one is my favorite, but 3 it holds a special place in my heart of horror and terror.
Oh, okay.
When I was a kid, like I think I talked about this before
Yeah,
on the pod. Like it scared the living bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
So that one is like one of my favorite horror movies, even though it's not a horror movie. Camp Cretaceous, I know I've talked about that one on this pod.
Yeah.
Because that is not a kid's show, but they market it as a kid's show. People die on that show, like every other episode. People die.
Your daughter is something else because my daughter freaked when she heard like, nope, I'm done. Like, yes, can we change it? Like, yes, honey, we can change it.
Ellie goes, oh no, dinos. Like, yeah, dinos. Yeah, they definitely got him.
Yeah.
Is he okay? I don't think so, baby. Oh, it's okay. It's just dinos. All right, baby. Whatever.
She needs to wear a shirt that's, like vote for Pedro, but if anything, it says anything for dinos.
Anything for dinos, yeah.
That's great.
I'm down for it. Should make her one of those. And then my last favorite dinosaur media thing is actually a video game for the Nintendo 64 that I played religiously as a kid, Turok.
I don't remember this.
It was essentially a dinosaur hunting game.
Oh.
You play as this dude named Turok who gets thrown into like a time-traveling vortex or whatever and ends up in a dinosaur world. And basically you just go on a dinosaur killing rampage. And it was so much fun. Turok 2 is actually my favorite one, but
Kill the dinos.
it's come out. Actually, I think it's on Xbox. You can probably find it.
I think that's probably like where I know it.
Yeah.
That's why that's familiar to me.
It's funny.
Okay. Well, what's everyone's favorite dino?
Chris, you go first.
Oh, the Ankylosaurus by far is my favorite.
It's a pretty
dinosaur.
fun one. I like that's one of the ones that you play with as a kid because you just like toss the tail around. And you're like, yeah, attack all the other dinosaurs.
For
They've
people
got,
who
like-
don't, you want to clarify what these are for
Yeah,
people
so
who don't speak
this
dino?
one is a 4-legged herbivore. Probably you would recognize like a stegosaurus shape or a triceratops shape. But the head has spikes. It's got spikes coming out of its flanks, like on the sides going along the back where your shoulder blades would be.
Are you sure that's the right one?
All the way down. Yeah, not like straight up and down. They stick out to the sides. And then it goes all the way down into the tail, and it's got like a club tail.
Mm,
And
Oh.
it is like one of the coolest dinos. I think like you can kind of look at it like an armadillo. Kind of looks like an armadillo with a club tail.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite dinos of all time. Because of Camp Cretaceous, there's one character on there named Bumpy, who is a misformed.
Bumpy.
Yeah, she's a non-symmetrical ankylosaurus, and the kids take care of her, and it's cute. That one would be my favorite dinosaur of all time. Also, just my favorite herbivore. If I had to pick a carnivore, I would probably say the Deinonychus, which is not only Ellie's favorite, but it is the genus that has what we think are velociraptors
Right.
based on Jurassic Park and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're actually big, and they were actually like what we think of.
Yeah, when you think of like the 7-foot velociraptor, that's actually a Deinonychus. That's what I would say is my favorite.
Pretty groovy.
For me, to me this is the classic. It's the Triceratops.
Absolutely.
The 3-prong horns on the front.
Three horn.
Yeah, it's just it's like what you even saw in like the old movies. Like it was the T-Rex versus the Triceratops, and it was just you had the shield in the front, and it would try to go at each other. It would try to pierce, but also not exposing its back. Triceratops, and then like in Jurassic Park, like that was even like Dr. Grant's like one of his favorites because it was there sick and it was hurt, and you got to feel it breathe. Like man, that would be so cool to experience. That's why I was just slightly
on the cloning.
Slightly like. If theoretically, I'm not saying it is possible, but if theoretically it was possible to only do herbivores and to keep it safe, and yeah, why not? Maybe one.
I don't trust it.
Wait, wasn't Barney his little buddy, the orange one? He was a Triceratops.
Was he?
No, Barney was a T-Rex.
No,
You're thinking
the
of
orange.
Baby Bop. She was green.
That's what she said.
She
Yeah,
was
the
a
Orange.
Triceratops.
There was an orange one too.
BJ.
BJ.
He was not a Triceratops.
What
I don't
was he
think.
then?
Hold on.
I think he was a
We can do this.
Barney.
Barney and Friends.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Oh, the green one was a Triceratops. No,
Yes.
the green and the yellow one were. They
No.
they look like Triceratops, but they're not. But they
Protoceratops.
don't have the horns.
BJ was a Protoceratops, which is essentially what evolved into a Triceratops.
Gotcha.
But the green one, what is she?
I'm looking that up now.
It's got some.
Because I was like,
funky
I
ears.
feel like I've seen an
Barney, Baby
Did you grow up watching-
Bop.
Barney.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Really?
I did.
I thought that was something that was a lot older. Yeah, like that was my kids or me as a kid.
Selena Gomez was on there, dude. That was my stuff.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was
I didn't-
going on.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
and
No.
I think Demi Lovato.
Anyways, so yeah, Triceratops, and then the one thing that definitely did impact me from Jurassic Park 3 was the Spinosaurus, because like that was the game changer. Like, wait a second, you're telling me there's a bigger theropod that can take down a T-Rex? That thing is badass. It was huge. It had a long snout. It had the fin on its back. That thing was legendary. Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
It's got the longer arm, so it could like grab something, and it's like this is like a better T-Rex. Like that was my thought as a kid. Like this is
That's
upgraded.
how they marketed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember buying those toys, and I remember having like the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus toy, and it would like had like this little button on the back of its head, so it would open up its jaw. It would make that noise. Ah! Yeah, that was fun times.
What
man.
a time period. Maybe I would be more into dinosaurs if it was like more of my gen. But I know like a couple of my friends are like super into Jurassic Park, but like it's just
It's definitely generational.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they wasted an opportunity in the late 2000s with like they should have had another Jurassic something, because for your generation or something.
bah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
For the record, Baby Bop was a Triceratops.
yes.
Knew it.
Heck yeah, dude. Okay, so my favorite dinosaurs, which one was granted to me by Chris, is a
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus, and that's the really like long one that kind of looks like the things from Land Before Time, but
Yeah.
like isn't. And it's just really long and tall, and I think they eat trees.
They do.
They tops of trees.
Leaves.
Yeah.
The whole tree,
So it's like
Fruit and all.
it's a giraffe in dino form.
basically. Yeah.
And I think that's wholesome, and I think that suits me quite well. And then the other one I picked, just because I like the sound, like I just love to say it. So like pterodactyls, but I like to call them pterodactyls. So I just think they're the coolest.
There is a children's show on Disney Plus called Dino Ranch, and there's a pterodactyl character named Teddy, who is spelled P-T-E-D-D-Y.
Ow!
Teddy the pterodactyl. But
Could you imagine doing that to your kid though? Like
I would absolutely
like
thought
could you
about
imagine with my name Tim, like Patim?
it. Tim. I absolutely thought about it.
Like in kindergarten, like you're like trying to learn how to spell your name. Like, all right, let's spell your name. P-T. Wait.
P,
Where is
no,
this
your
extra?
name is Tim. It starts with a T. No, look, I've been through this my entire life.
Right.
I am
me out.
very small, and I have no money. But what I do know is that my name starts with a P because my parents suck.
Oh,
And
good stuff.
pterodactyls. Oh, I said it.
Nice.
Pterodactyls also make me think of what was it? It was like a live action Scooby Doo, I think it was.
Oh,
When they
the
flew
movie.
in?
Yeah, yeah.
Scooby too.
Yeah, and they flew
Monsters
in.
Unleashed.
Yes, so I think of them.
You knew
in
that very
too.
well.
Scooby Doo is look. I care about Scooby Doo as much as Ellie cares about dinos. Okay, I have seen every episode, every movie, and I'm really excited about this new one that Mindy Kaling is doing.
Oh, yeah.
the Scooby-Doo, like older.
Freaky.
I haven't seen any of the previews. I'm trying to do the Justin thing with this one, where I don't watch previews and I'm just surprised by it.
Oh, you're gonna be surprised.
But we'll see. We'll see.
So, those are my two. And then, last but certainly not least, which dinosaur would win in a fight?
Dino Fight!
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Think of it. Do the sound. Do the sound.
Oh, I don't know where it's at. It's not gonna be quick enough.
Oh, that's okay. I'm thinking of it as like Mortal Kombat with dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think of it as like as a kid. When you're a kid and you have the set of dinosaurs around you, and you go into a fight. Who would win? Because it's like your own imagination who you would choose.
Right.
That was my thought. So tell us which one. Who's our lineup?
I'm picking.
Well, tell us the first. Like we go each one. Each one.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
first
first
fight.
one.
Title fights.
Round 1.
Heavyweight champion of the world.
T-Rex versus Spinosaurus.
So according to Jurassic Park 3, Spinosaurus won, but I mean there's only one fight though.
And they're the same size, right?
Well,
roughly.
However, from the pictures I've seen recently, the Spinosaurus seems a lot more chunky, and so it might have been harder
chunky.
to get around.
He's about to get chunky.
So
What's that one song from Madagascar?
Oh.
I like 'em big.
Moto.
yeah. So I don't know. I think if it's like the Spinosaurus that we see from Jurassic Park 3, I would go Spinosaurus, but I think realistically it would still be T-Rex.
I'm going T-Rex.
Ooh.
And I'm talking Toy Story T-Rex. He's going to whoop some ass.
King of the dinos over here. I think, personally, the Spinosaurus. Just because it's got a longer snout and it's a little more mobile.
Yeah.
It's got longer arms it can use.
They're like the same.
I mean, they all have, like, small, short arms, but the Spinosaurus could, like, stand on its arms at least. Like, use them as a brace.
So I looked up Spinosaurus, and it says, Mattel Jurassic World Extreme Chomping Spinosaurus.
That's the toy. That's the one right
Best
there.
Buy.
That's it. That's it.
That's phenomenal. But I don't know, because I'm looking at several other pictures. They have so many different shapes.
Right.
There's no, like, solid shape of a Spinosaurus.
It's just so hard to tell because it's like you can tell a little bit about their weight because of like the bone mass, but other than that, it's really hard to tell about the shape of it.
And then, but T-Rex is always the same. They're just big-headed, short arms, and thick legs.
And it also depends on how many bones you actually have from said dinosaur, because not all dinosaurs have complete fossil records.
Right, true.
Oh, you can just Google which one of these dinosaurs would win, and there's like this whole scientific breakdown of.
It's like on Reddit. They're like arguing.
No, like the T-Rex weighed anywhere from 11,000 to 15,000. The Spinosaurus weighed up to 31,000. T-Rex was 20 feet. Spinosaurus is 23 feet. T-Rex is 40 feet long. Spinosaurus can be up to 60. Now, the T-Rex ran 17 miles an hour. The Spinosaurus ran 15.
Yeah.
Bite power was 57,000 with the Tyrannosaurus, but only 19 with the Spinosaurus. Let me see. I'm just going to scroll
It's a
down
pretty
to the
tight fight,
bottom.
actually.
It would be a really tight fight.
I would like to see it in a Roman Coliseum.
They even have
that's
it
the only
broken
way to do
down
it.
into
Yeah.
combat skills.
That's impressive.
I think I might do that
Key
in Jurassic World Evolution. Is I
differences.
might
just
pin
put
down
them in there and have them fight.
That's what I'm going to do. Guys, I'm going to record. I'm going to have T-Rex going against Spinosaurus and record like 100 of them
All
and
right.
see
Yeah.
how many of them win.
Here we go.
That's what I'll
In
do.
a T-Rex versus Spinosaurus fight, the T-Rex would come away victorious. Spinosaurus does have the benefit of being able to ambush a T-Rex at the edge of the water, and that might be the lone scenario where T-Rex loses. It would still be hard to pull off given that T-Rex has amazing senses. T-Rex has massive neck. Spinosaurus wasn't going to break with its power. T-Rex could thrash free and clamp down on the Spinosaurus. Blah, blah, blah. In fact, high intellect, senses, powerful legs to prevent getting toppled, and tremendous bite. T-Rex would come into this fight underweight, but it would still have the power to do fatal damage.
So T-Rex for the win.
T-Rex for the
I think
win.
it's
Let's
still
go,
T-Rex.
Rexy from Toy Story.
All right,
Hey.
next
All
fight.
right.
Round 2. We have Triceratops versus Stegosaurus.
This one is really tight because on one hand you got the Triceratops with the forward facing, you can see where you're going with your weapons on your head. But with the Stegosaurus, you got mobility. The big spikes are on your tail,
Yeah.
but you got to swing with that.
Yeah.
A pretty fierce swing.
I think it depends on how the fight starts. Like, because if it's head-to-head, the Triceratops would, like, just ram the Stegosaurus, and that's game over.
But is
But
the
if it's-
Stegosaurus
if
more
they're
nimble?
just
Can it move out of the way?
If they're just, like, near each other, I don't know.
But like imagine the Stegosaurus doing like a juke move, and then with that juke move, he spins his tail around and it gets the Triceratops in the back.
I'm going back to the same website for this one. Let's see.
I think
Triceratops versus Stegosaurus. All right, Triceratops 12,000 to 20,000. Stegosaurus 11,000 to 15,400. 9 feet versus 7 feet.
Close.
30 feet versus 30 feet.
Close.
They're very similar size. 20 miles per hour on the Triceratops, though. The Stegosaurus is maxed out at 5.
I'm going to go Triceratops. I just feel like they're just so much more...
I would say Triceratops.
Ferocious.
Before I get to... Yeah. And aside from the horns, they also had like that massive beak that they could bite
really rock.
down.
But so do
the hell out of
Stegosauruses.
somebody.
No, they were more like
much.
lizard
No, they have
faces.
very tiny faces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, I know that, but
Triceratops had significant
they bite,
offensive
though?
powers.
But even then,
though it
why
was
would
a
they really be
non-predatory
fighting?
Dinosaur.
Wait, guys, we're forgetting something.
What?
Stegosauruses are dumb.
Who would win in a fight? That's what
Yeah,
we're
I
trying to
give it
figure out.
Triceratops. You're right.
Common sense.
You're
Right.
right. Yeah, walnut brain can't get you far.
All right, let's see.
He's like, why are we fighting,
Yeah,
dude?
let's scroll down to the bottom. All right, so Triceratops would beat a Stegosaurus in a fight.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Stegosaurus-
question about it.
The thing about Stegosaurus was it had very small head and brain. It may not realize it was in danger until the enemy was nearly upon it.
Oh.
Even then, accurately swinging its tail in such a way as to cause fatal damage to another dinosaur was hard to do.
Hey, buddy, are
So
we
no wonder
friends?
they freaking died off.
If Triceratops landed the initial attack, Stegosaurus would die and probably not even launch a counterattack. Otherwise, it would turn into a melee between two creatures. Stegosaurus may have a chance to bury its spikes into the Triceratops, but the better and more likely scenario is more deliberate and well-aimed Triceratops horns puncture the Stegosaurus.
I imagine a
organ.
Stegosaurus is very similar to those goats that like they get scared and
They faint. They get scared and they faint.
The Stegosaurus is like, oh man, that's crazy, dog.
Crazy.
All right, so Triceratops in that one.
Yeah.
Round 3. Or wait, how do you say?
Round 3.
Isn't there like final round or something like?
Final round.
There we go. Velociraptor versus
Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus.
Okay, so the Dilophosaurus was the one that could spit venom.
Yes.
I'm going with that one.
Up until you told me about the size difference, I would have just been like Velociraptor, no question.
Right.
But now that I know that they are roughly the same size, like
Right. It's a tighter fight.
yeah, I don't know.
You got the agility.
It's got the venom.
See, what I've learned about these dinosaurs is they had light bones, which made them, or they had very shallow bones.
So
which,
like deer?
do deer have shallow bones?
Oh, they have very small bones.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, it made them lighter. So like the T-Rex, for example, it had big bones, but they were a lot of just hollow, and so it made them not as heavy as you think they would be. So anyways, I say that because Velociraptors, they had a lot of feathers and they were light and they can move fast. Dilophosauruses, I guess the same, but it's got a weapon. It's got a weapon. Spitting venom.
It's like the tiny lizards nowadays.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It's not on that website.
Oh no! So this is up to us.
We got to figure this one out.
I'm going Dilophosaurus.
I would say Dilophosaurus because not only are they both pack hunters, so putting them on a one-on-one fight takes them out of their element. The Dilophosaurus does have the spitting venom that it can use.
But you have to count on like pinpoint accuracy because you're going for the eyes.
No, not pinpoint accuracy at all.
What do you mean?
They can like just projectile.
Do you know
vomit,
that?
Like out. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I'm looking it up.
But that's the point. Like even then, like you got to have enough splatter to hit the eyes or like the mouth or something to actually take effect. Like I don't think it would like kill skin.
I mean, between that and the giant flaps on the neck, it's got to be at least.
So basically, it says
yeah.
it causes extreme bleeding from not only the bite wound, but also from orifices such as already existing cuts, mouth, nose, and sometimes eyes. So like even if they bite the Velociraptor, it's a game. They're done.
Guys, are we about to say Dilophosaurus is going to beat a Velociraptor?
Absolutely, dude.
If
Now that I know it's
just
only
the
like a foot
one-on-one,
tall,
yeah.
I'm gonna punt it.
Velociraptor's big strength is that they were pack hunters.
Right.
They were smart. They were planners. They would get together and hunt in packs.
Like hyenas.
Yeah. But if it's just a one-on-one fight, I think the Dilophosaurus has got it.
With venom.
Guys,
too.
what a moment you're seeing here. We have shattered the expectations of the dino world, and we are deciding with the Dilophosaurus to be the winner of a fight.
Okay, but now let's take our 3 winners. We got T-Rex.
Oh, T-Rex still wins.
Triceratops and Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, T-Rex takes a chunk out of the Dilophosaurus easy. Triceratops, it would have a fight for sure, but I think T-Rex wins. The jaw force alone,
Right.
the bite force alone.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
So that doesn't really change much. That
No.
we already knew.
T-Rex, you are the king.
Yeah, you've been the king. Top tier.
Fun.
All right. Well, what a conclusion. I learned so much today, I feel like.
Today's been an educational podcast, whether we wanted it to be or not.
For real. Like, I just feel like
Tim was like, let's just do a fun podcast, guys. And I was like, I feel like we still learned something.
Yeah. My favorite part is what is it? Stegosaurus only having a walnut brain.
Walnut brain.
Like, me too, bestie. Let's go.
Says the only one here with a college degree from a 4-year university that's accredited.
I paid for this degree. It was nothing. It's fine. Very good. All right. So we're going to move into a little break, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for today's episode.
Thanks,
Ooh. Welcome back, friends.
Hey.
We are now going to be moving into the fan questions segment of our pod. And this is where we answer your questions. So.
Yeah.
So,
Jolly good.
before we get into that.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. We have the Always More hotline. You can leave a voicemail question at
254-218-4042.
One more time, that is a voicemail question at
254-218-4042.
Wow, that was really good, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, Harley.
So,
We did not practice.
our first question that we have just received.
Yes.
This just in, hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
Technically into the voicemail because he called and did not leave a voicemail. But
So not a voicemail. Off the phone.
Off the
but
phone.
he left a voicemail on my phone.
Right.
So I just took it from there.
The question that John asked is, why are Americans one of the few countries that drive on the right side of the road?
Chris, would you like to inform us of this reason?
I would. This is an actual answer. So I found this one just now. The Federal Highway Administration has often been asked this question. So they did some research into it. Turns out that travelers with handguns back in colonial times, most of which were right-handed. Yeah, don't ask me, man. Handguns, muskets, whatever they had.
Of course, it deals with guns.
It goes all the way back to colonial times, but it
Like a shotgun on the left side kind of thing?
yeah, exactly. So the people they would travel with their guns in the hollows of their left arms so that
get
they
it.
could pull it
I get it.
with their right hand, and it was easier to do from the right side.
Yeah.
So that they're better ready for an oncoming stranger
Wow.
in case they prove dangerous.
Well,
So all the way back to colonial times, Americans were violent and unnecessarily prepared for a gunfight.
who knew? Like, there's so many things that Americans have done because of guns, and this is just another one that you know, who knew? These guys knew.
Who would have thunk it? Not me.
Not me. Who would have thought?
Oh, well, all right. Well, hey, John, we answered your question. You're welcome.
Yep. Handle
Yes.
the reins and the jerk line with the left hand. Hold the gun with the right.
Pew, pew. Okay, our next question from Tiara is, what is the stupidest invention ever? And Tim, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, I got it. I got two of them, but I got one for sure. Spray on hair. In the early 1990s,
Bro, people are still using that stuff today.
I know. Men actually thought you could reverse balding by spraying on hair. For $39.99 plus shipping, handling, and fees, you could get a 1-month supply of this stuff. The craze didn't last long, however. It turns out that the fake spray on hair looked worse than just staying bald. And there is a YouTube video that we'll put in a link, and you just need to watch it. It is hilarious. It's 90s in a nutshell. 90s capitalism in a nutshell. And then lastly, I saw this one, and if you scroll down, my friends, on the very bottom of the notes, I put in a picture. But there is a detachable dog sack for cars.
I love it.
So for you guys, I want you to imagine this. On the outside of the car, there's like these two big hooks that go on the bottom and on the top. And then like this little bag that opens up where there's like a little hole for the head to go through. And you put the dog where he's standing like in the bag, but on the side of the car. And you just truck around with the dog on the side of the car.
Just put the dog in the car. Jesus.
They don't want the dog in the car.
This is like a big thing in like the 40s, or I say big thing. It came out in the 40s, and I guess it didn't pick up or pick on. But yeah, those are my two stupid inventions.
All right. I actually found a list of stupid inventions that I just put a link in here. they include things like the verified burst your bubble belt buckle, which is literally just a belt buckle that you put bubble wrap into and roll, and it pops multiple bubble wraps at the same time.
I don't know if that's stupid.
No, it's
kinda
not.
nice.
Avocado on a stick. It is literally, it's avocado, and not even on the stick like you would expect. It's on a stick of deodorant.
What?
In case you don't have time to cut your avocado and spread it on your toast.
Wait, so like
like a deodorant stick, you just rub it on your toast, but it's avocado.
Oh. Well, I mean, avocados are kind of hard to spread.
Sun shaders.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Sun shaders. They're sunglasses with blinds like windows
Oh, that's
where you
funny.
can like
Stop.
raise and lower them. Yeah. So this list has all kinds of dumb and like practical, but still like why. My favorite is the baguette pack, which is very similar to your dog bag, but it's for a baguette. Like the bread, you just put it in a backpack.
Okay, that's great. I don't care. That's not stupid. That's hilarious.
It's like a sword sheath for a baguette. You just whoosh.
How are the fridge not taking advantage of this? I mean, like you go
Maybe
around.
they are. Maybe they
You
are.
get into an argument. It's like, huzzah! You bring out your baguette and you're ready to go. You back someone on the head with
I
that.
wouldn't even know what to do.
This
in
is
that
how did we
situation.
take on the French?
I think the dumbest invention of all time, though, would have to be financial lobbying. I think it's stupid that people can pay politicians to do whatever they want, and the politicians just do it.
Well,
like, why is that
yeah.
allowed? Why is it something that's capable? It just does not make sense to me. Why would you want your government run by corporations?
Yeah.
Whether they're actually the ones in charge or not, they're paying the people that are in charge, and they're doing whatever the corporations say. Financial lobbying is stupid, and you should not be able to be a millionaire on the Senate.
Yeah, dude.
Amen, brother.
Period.
Anyway.
Harley, you have a stupid invention.
Okay, so I have kind of a few. So my first one, I really wanted to do something with poison, because it's just the fact that everything in the 20s had poison. You know what I mean? All of
Mercury.
it.
And,
Yeah, and they made
The
the
paint, the makeup,
Yes,
the
dude.
vaccines.
everything was boiled.
And so most people know this, but Coca-Cola had cocaine in it.
Oh, yeah.
No wonder they had so much energy to do shit all the time.
Right?
Like,
That explains the Industrial Revolution.
yeah, which
Everybody
is
was high.
I need to get my fix. Which is my other thing.
We need you to pound this steel into a building. Done.
Like, just give him some Coke. And hence the name. Anyways. And then another thing I found, which was so bizarre to me, I'll include a photo in the notes if you guys ever want to go check it out, but it's a baby cage. And it's kind of like, have you ever seen those catios? Do you know what a catio is?
I have
Where you
no
can
idea what a
attach it to
catio
your
is.
window and your cat can go sit
Oh,
outside.
Yes.
Same thing, but babies.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that picture. It is horrible.
It's horrible. It's
Yeah, it's like on a New York skyline.
I love that.
It's crazy.
I love
and
that.
she's just marinating.
She's just chilling.
So basically,
Get some fresh air.
It's a literal cage to hold an infant. It says one per cage, not two babies, just one per
That
cage.
might be too much.
To be placed on outside windows in high rises and in apartment buildings in general. It was designed to be suspended upon the exterior of a building adjacent with an open window wherein the baby or young child may be placed. A great many difficulties rise in properly housing babies in crowded cities from a health viewpoint. So, if you also didn't know, living in any city during, the 1920s was disgusting. It was horrible. Everything was crowded, and it's just really bad. There's whole books on it and all that stuff. And so I guess they were just kind of well, the baby's the smallest, so we're going to put it outside. So what? The rest of us can stay in.
Could you imagine,
Wild.
if your upstairs neighbors also had a baby cage, but their baby, got sick and, threw up on your baby?
Can you imagine you're doing dishes and you turn around and you're baby.
Jesus.
So, I just think that's horrible. But yeah.
Your baby got poop on my baby.
And then I guess my other thing is anything invented during the industrial era.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. Grandpa.
This grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
I didn't ask for any of this. And this is why we are where we are now.
Yeah.
So
Well.
This is America.
don't get you slipping, no. Don't get you slipping. You know that song? You should know this.
I
You
do
of
know
all
that
people
song.
should.
That's why I said it.
Parker.
This is America. Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard that song, listen to it.
I need to watch
If you haven't
season.
heard it in a while, listen to it again.
I need to watch season 3 of Atlanta.
Oh,
Good show.
and then apparently asbestos is.
Oh, yeah.
Asbestos, that's probably one
That's
of
a
the
good one,
dumbest
yeah.
ones, yeah.
Get rid of that thing.
Oh, somebody put Crocs on here. Hold on, time out. I used to hate Crocs, but now I'm like,
I don't know.
I had a vendetta against Crocs for a while, and now I'm just like, it is what it is. I don't have them. I don't wear them. I've never worn them. I'm not saying I will never wear them, but
Right. I don't know. I got a pair, and I was like, oh, they're not the worst.
I bought Janelle a pair, ironically, and she wears them around the house now when she's cooking, and they're great for her feet.
Yeah, dude.
So
It's not bad. And they
don't
got
know.
cute little gibbets, I guess.
Yeah, the more you know. Stop judging so much and just, do what you do.
just let people enjoy things,
Put the Crocs on the feet and call it a day. Okay.
unless it's financial lobbying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Screw you
Agreed.
guys.
Huzzah!
Amen. All right.
here.
Well, that's all we got for you guys today.
That's a wrap.
Anybody got any final thoughts?
Yeah, we shouldn't clone. Like dinosaurs. Now that I've thought about it, had to marinate.
You let it sit for a while. Do you remember anything from those 4, 5, 6 movies?
He's like got them all the scenes like replaying in his head, and he's like, oh,
This
I
might be
see
a bad
where these
idea.
things went
just
wrong.
don't. These things are bigger than us, and
Yeah.
it just nah.
Even like a regular triceratops, like
yeah,
it's an herbivore, but that doesn't mean it's not going to go on a
Like we have
rampage.
elephants, we're good.
we're
We're
fine.
okay. We got giraffes, elephants.
Bring
Let's
back
worry about fixing the problems we currently have with our
Right.
planet before we
We
bring
don't
other
need to add
species
more
into it.
problems to our list.
Do you know what this global warming and financial crisis needs?
Dinosaurs.
Oh.
To wrap things up, please feel free to give us a 5-star rating on any platform that you listen to the pod on. There are several, and I will not be the one to list them because I can't tell you all of them.
There's
But
a lot.
There's a plethora.
There's several, and but yeah, if you guys like us, leave a good rating, and if you don't, please don't leave a bad one. Please don't. Just spare us the heartache.
You can send us a message or a comment or anything and give us suggestions.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
If you don't like what we do, tell us why.
There you
But be
go.
nice, because remember, I'm sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I will cry.
So, thank you all again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave all of the ratings and the comments and the follows and the things on everything.
You sound like Bill Cosby right there. And the pudding pops. No.
Don't tell me that. Oh my God, that's so bad. Anyways, and you can follow us on social media on like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod.
Yes, and then you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Timothy Lichty and on TikTok at Tim Lichty.
I am on Instagram at Captain_CT Ford or on TikTok as at Christopher.Lionheart.
And on the Instagrams, you can find me at WhatHarley, WUT Harley, and on the Clock app, HarleyBean.co. Thank you all for listening and for being a part of the conversation. And remember, there is always more than this.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Always More podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share, like, and rate on whatever your platform of preference is. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. If you'd like to submit a question, you can ask us on any of our social media platforms, or you can leave us a voicemail at 254-218-4042. If you'd like to feed into our caffeine addiction as well as support the podcast financially, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/alwaysmorepod. For further information and to contact us, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com.
Na